Looking for some specialty holofoil cards? Well, you've come to the right place, my friend. If I can offer you a nice card here with the... Hey, how's it going? Good, good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How can we help you today? I'm just looking around. Not a problem. We've got a lot to look at. We've a little bit of everything, honestly. Is there anything in particular that you might be a little bit more keen on looking at today? I can kind of point you in the right direction, possibly. Well, we've got just about anything you would want to look at the moment. We're really well stocked after the holidays. So if you would like, I'll just give you kind of a brief rundown of everything we've got, and you can kind of start from there. How does that sound? It's been a slow day, so I've got the time. Perfect. So right here on your right, we've got all of the various boxed theme decks. Now these are going to be a little bit more pricey. They are collector's pieces. That's why they're housed here in our little display. These vary in kind of age. Some of them are from base set, as you see here with the Zap theme deck. Most of these are built around one or two main Pokemon. So we've got anywhere from base set. We've got some base set 2 here and here. We've got the Team Rocket set there. We've got Fossil and Jungle in there. And then it goes all the way through the second generation, so the Neo sets. As you can see, Neo Genesis there, Neo Destiny with your Dark and Light sets. Those are great. We've got some Neo Discovery in here somewhere. I could pull those if you're interested. We've got some of the Legendary Collection and even the E-Series sets, if that's something that you're interested in. So these are basically your choice if you're looking for something that you can show off, maybe on a display or a shelf or desk. And also they do contain all of the original materials, cards, damage counters, status conditions, even the pamphlet inserts. Those are all in there. So if you want something that's complete and it's kind of a collector's piece, maybe you don't want to handle it too often, this would be your go-to. But like I said, fairly expensive there. Below, as you see, these are more of your usable theme decks. These are from newer sets. These are similar to these in the fact that they are built around one main holo foil Pokemon. So each of these will contain at least one holo and a large amount of energies. They are immediately playable, not extremely viable in competitive play, but it's more of a almost foundation for a deck. So if you want to maybe learn how to play the deck or play the card game rather with a friend, or just even solo, if you'd like to just look through and familiarize yourself with how the game is set up with the 60 cards in the deck, these would be great. And they are a lot cheaper, especially since they are opened. They are not fully complete. They don't come with any damage counters, so they're complete in the aspect of the cards inside, but they don't have coins, damage counters, or any of the pamphlet material that your complete boxed sets would. But they are a lot cheaper, so you could purchase one or two and take them home and try them out with a friend to learn the card game that way or anything like that. These vary from set to set. We have, of course, the X and Y evolution sets here. We have the black and white plasma freeze. We even have some X and Y breakthrough right here. So most of these will contain the Pokemon on the front as the holo. We have the black and white emerging powers with that nice crocodile there. We even have some Call of Legends with your Lucario. This was a great set. They brought back the shiny cards. So those are some more cheaper options for your theme decks. I think somewhere in one of these I do have a few more theme decks. You know what, I might just wait, and if you are interested in one of those theme decks, I might pull one of these from the boxes. With that said, I also have a lot of specialized rare cards in these albums. So if you are looking for an individual hollow foil or non-hollow, it could be anywhere from common to rare hollow. If you are looking for a particular set and a particular hollow, maybe to add to a collection that you already have, and you are willing to spend, a decent amount of money depending on the rarity of that card, then we do have most complete sets here from anywhere from base set onward. So if there is a card that you really, have your mind set on, or you've been looking for a long time, you most likely will find it here, and we have them all situated in these individual binder albums. Some of them are like you see in random baseball albums, or more fittingly designed albums. So if there's a specific card that you are looking for, just let me know, and we have albums such as these that contain a lot of specific cards that you'll like. So as you can see, this is the Team Rocket set here, with most cards complete, like I said. So if there's something that piques your interest or that you already have in mind, let me know, and I'm sure we'll have it. We also have single boxes. Let me pull one here for you. If you would just like to browse and maybe pull some individual cards that are on the cheaper side, we have boxed loose singles here, commons, uncommons, and all the way up to random rares. These will be individually boxed. This is the common box. They are only 10 cents per card. So you can get, quite a few common cards here. Unfortunately, you'll just have to search through them and kind of look and see what you like. It's kind of the fun of that kind of thing, though. You can look through the box and see if anything piques your interest, pull it aside, and maybe then move on to the rare box or the hollow box. And of course, the commons will be 25 cents per, the rares will be $1 per, and any rare hollow will be individually priced, and each will be in a different box. So like I said, this is the common box. Let me just show you kind of what you could be expecting. It will have all of these cards just like this, listed and, stacked, and you can just flip through and see what you like. You can pull out a chunk of cards and just flip through, finding anything that piques your interest, set it aside, and check out at the end. So it is sometimes nice just to go through a nice stack of cards and see what you find. So as we move along, if you would like to look through any of the boxes, just let me know and I'll pull one for you. With that said, we do also have other trading card games here. We have a nice collection of Digimon cards. We have some X-Men cards, Dragon Ball Z cards. We do have some sports-related cards, basketball, football, baseball, anything that you'd like. So if there's something like that that you'd like to see, just bring it to my attention and I'll get it up front. The only other thing Pokemon-wise that we do have a decent collection of the Topps cards. Those are of course, housed separately. We do have the card house cards and some various movie-related cards. So if there are some other Pokemon TCG cards that aren't in your traditional sets, let me know and I'll get them pulled. The only other thing that we have is we do have some bulk packaged cards here that are pre-packaged. They're kind of just random pulls. These are super cheap. They're only a couple dollars per pack. So if you would like to just kind of get a little bit of surprise and see what you get, then we do have some of these bulk packages that are available to be purchased. We have slipped at least one rare card in from any of the random sets, so you might get something good and you might just get a bulk amount of cards, but they can be quite fun if you don't want to spend a lot of money but want to get more than what you get in a traditional booster pack. So let me know if any of these are of interest to you. Well, now that you know kind of what we have to offer, is there anything that you'd like to take a look at today? Okay, you want to go ahead and see the common box? Sure. If you want to flip through those kind of as you don't need me to pull anything else, that's perfectly fine. So let me get that box for you here. Don't worry about putting them back in any kind of order or anything like that. You can just flip through them to your heart's desire, and if you need to pull out a big stack, not a problem. So I will get that pulled off for you. Once again, we do have a large amount of cards in here, so take your time, all the time that you need, and when you're finished with the box, just let me know and I'll put it back over to the side. Please do enjoy thumbing through those. As you do, is there anything individual that you would like me to pull or prepare for you to look through? Okay, you want to take a look at some of the other theme decks. Now, would you like the original vintage box sets or some cheaper and more ready to play and widely usable theme decks? Okay, you want to see some of the newer theme decks, not a problem. Once again, they range anywhere from, anywhere over the last 10 years, basically. So, yeah, I'll just pull the box and let you thumb through those. Let me remember what box we have these in. I think this might be it. Oh, yes, that is a great one there. Yeah, just set it to the side if it's one that you would like to purchase. We'll count them all up at the end, not a problem. All right, here they are. So, as you look through those, I'll pull some of these out. You can just kind of glance over and take a mental note of the ones that I have. So, I do have a nice black and white Next Destiny's theme deck with a nice Reshiram there. We have a black and white Plasma Storm deck. We have a nice black and white Dark Explorers deck. A black and white Noble Victories theme deck. A separate black and white Next Destinies, this time the Zekrom edition. And of course it does contain the hollow foil Zekrom. We have a black and white 2 Plasma Storm with Giratina. And last but certainly not least, we have a V-Battle Blastoise deck. So if you would like to use some of the V cards, then this might be your perfect choice. So are any of these theme decks ones that you feel you might want to leave here with today. Once again, if you have someone who you want to perhaps practice the game with, or maybe just casually play, these theme decks are great if you don't want to have to explain some overcomplicated meta or strategies and you want to just take 2 decks, give one to each of yourself and a friend, and just play for fun, or a family member or anything like that. This is a great way to introduce someone to the game in a more laid back and ready to play out of the box situation. So if you have anything like that you'd like to utilize, I would suggest just 2 of these cheaper decks. Oh, you would? Okay, perfect. So if you do plan on sharing this experience with somebody, I would suggest picking 2 decks from the same series set. That way the cards are well balanced against each other. If I may recommend one here, I think that the black and white Next Destiny set would be great for that purpose, since we do have the Reshiram and Zekrom decks. It would be a great 1-2 punch to offer to a friend or family member or special someone who would like to play the game with you. You could both have a very well balanced deck and have a lot of fun learning the game together, or just playing for fun. So would you like that Zekrom and Reshiram and Zekrom deck? Perfect. I'll set both to the side, and since it is your first time visiting us and you are purchasing both decks, I'm going to give you one for free. Not a problem. We like to try to develop long-time customers, and it's all about the experience. So I think that we're going to have a lot of great times here together. So it's just a good start in the right direction for our customer relationship here. I will set these to the side for you, that way I don't forget. And let me get these theme decks boxed back up for you. How is your stack coming along there? It looks like you've found a decent amount of cards there. That's great. I'm glad that we had some that fit not only your budget, but your interest. That's exactly what we like to see. What's that? You'd like to see the other singles box? Not a problem. Perfect, yeah. Just keep the ones that you picked so far right there, and I will get this one put back together. Now the next box, like I said, is 50 cents. I think there are some 75-cent pieces in there, but the cards are slightly more rare or harder to find, so it does reflect the price increase, but they aren't your rarest cards. There could be 1 or 2 rares in the box, but they will be the more common cards of that nature. So I will let you go ahead and thumb through. Like you can probably guess, there are a lot more vintage cards in this set, and as I said, this box is slightly more expensive than the common box. What I do want to point out though is that while some of the cards may indeed be common designations, they are either vintage or harder to find, so they are a little bit more expensive than the newer cards that have the common designation. So these cards can range from old to new, but still require just a slightly higher price point. So please do enjoy and let me know if you would like anything else. As you go through that box, is there anything that you'd like me to pull, any individual cards that you've been looking for or anything like that? Let me ask you this. Is there any set that you are currently collecting or trying to complete? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that's a great place to start. Okay. So it sounds like that set is coming along nicely for you. If I had to make a suggestion on an additional set to start, I would suggest do you want to collect the vintage sets first or newer set? Vintage first. Okay, not a problem. Nothing wrong with those newer sets either, but those vintage sets, there's just something about them, I will agree. So if I had to make a suggestion on one of those two sets, I would suggest that you start with either Jungle or Fossil, because those sets are quite small and you can complete them a lot quicker, and obviously without spending as much money than completing, say, base set 2, or some of the later sets. So if you are interested in selecting any of those cards from Fossil or Jungle, I can pull a couple of great starter holo foils that are great to build your collection around. It's always nice to start with that one holo foil from a set that you can really remember when you look back on those cards and think, that was that first card from that set, and that's what started it all. And as you go through that box there will be some Jungle and Fossil commons and uncommons that, if you see one here that you like, or if you like one of my suggestions, you can pull some of those and kind of leave here today with a decent start on a nice modest collection. So what do you say? Would you like me to pull a couple cards from one or maybe both of those sets and let you kind of decide? Okay, great. You don't mind if I pick one or two and bring it up? I tend to have a decent idea for kind of what customers will like in this situation. So if you do trust my judgment, I'll pull a couple here as you look through. Okay, great. So as I'm doing that, if you see any Jungle or Fossil commons or uncommons there in the box, just set them to the side. That way, if you like one of these holo rares, you can maybe keep some of those cards from the stack and then put the rest back if you don't want all of them. All right, just give me one moment. I'm going to pull a few binders. Perfect. 1 second. Okay, so I have the Fossil binder here first. What I'm going to do is just take a quick peek through some of these cards and find one that is decently priced. You don't want to start your collection with a super expensive card sometimes if you're just starting out, because the price points can become quite high and it can become discouraging if you spend your whole budget on one card and now you just have one card from the set. So if you plan on getting a decent amount of the uncommon or common cards there, maybe a more budget-friendly Fossil card here to start with, or Jungle card. Okay, perfect. Just give me one moment, go ahead and look through, and I will see what I can find. Okay, let's see here. That might be good. What about that one? Now take your time there. It might take me a moment to find one that I love for you. That one might be good. That could be it. Or that one. That's it. Okay. So, I have your Fossil card selected here. I will keep it slightly secret. Now, let's get your Jungle card selected. Ooh, these are great. I think you are in for a pleasant surprise. You found a few there. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. That's the one. A nice theme here. Okay, so. Alright, just one moment here before you continue. I have two cards here. One from Fossil and one from Jungle. And I think that the theming on these two cards are consistent, and both will be slightly discounted for various reasons here. The first is from the Fossil set, and we have Zapdos. This card is, of course, slightly damaged. We do have some moderate scuffing here, but the holofoil is still quite nice, and the Zapdos is such a great card to start a collection with. If you have seen Pokemon the movie 2000, you will know that the collector in that movie is looking for a Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. So, how fitting that your collection for the Fossil set would start with Zapdos here today. Of course, this card will be heavily discounted due to some of the damaging and lower quality of the card, but I don't think that the damage is too substantial that the card is unwarranted of starting your collection with. And we do have a decent amount of affordable Fossil cards there as well. So what do you think of this? Not bad. Okay, now your Jungle card, as you can see, I went with the electric typing here for both to make your decision a little bit more based on the Pokemon itself and not perhaps the typing or anything like that. So Electrode is a great Pokemon, and one that is often overlooked from the Jungle set just due to the fact that you don't obviously immediately think of it on Electrode when you think of a Jungle, but this card is really great. It is a little bit more on the budget-friendly side for this set, and isn't the highest quality card. It is a better damage quality. It does have some scuffing here near the bottom, but this card is still in pretty solid shape, so it will be slightly more expensive than the Zapdos due to damage and quality, but it still is quite a bit cheaper than the other cards from Jungle. So if the Jungle set or the Jungle set cards that you have found there in the box suit your needs, then I would recommend Electrode, but both cards are absolutely fantastic starter pieces. So with that said, would you consider one of these two cards or both? I don't want to limit you. Or would you like me to try to find maybe a slightly more expensive card to go with your selections there? No? Okay, that's perfect. Now, which of the two would you prefer? Both? My. Okay. So, here's what I'm going to do. Since you have continued to surprise me with your gumption for collecting and starting a collection, and since you are starting the very admirable path of a collection of Jungle and Fossil at the same time, no doubt, I'm going to do you a favor. You can select 5 common or uncommon cards from the Jungle and Fossil set in that box for free to go along with your collection. Now, need I remind you, that is 1 free theme deck and 10 total free cards to go along with your 1 purchased Black and White Next Destiny set and 1 holofoil Jungle Electrode and 1 holofoil Fossil Zapdos. What a find for you today. Does that sound good? And of course you can purchase more than that, but those 10 cards are free. Excellent. So I will get these packaged and sent to the front desk. I'll set them with your theme decks. It looks like you already have a good stack there going. You're done with the box? Not a problem. Is there anything else that you'd like to look at today? I have many single cards, many theme decks, anything else that you desire, or would you like to get started on that collection that you've approached today? That's fine for today. Perfect. So I will get your cards sent to the front desk. Of course, we take them straight here to the desk in front for you. We don't want to have customers carrying the cards around the shop for obvious reasons, but you can pick them up at the front. They'll all be cased and protected, and you can pay there. I do implore you to return any time that you want to continue that fossil or jungle set, or start another. If you would like a nice boxed theme deck, a loose theme deck, or any other specialty cards that you would like pulled for your collection. If you do have any interest in any of our Digimon, X-Men, or even some more rare Dragon Ball Z cards, please do come in and ask for any of those, our Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering sets, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much for visiting us today, and please have a wonderful rest of your day and night. Goodbye.